It's set to wrap up Week 15 in the Canadian Football League here in Calgary, where one team has already clinched a playoff spot, the other hanging on to their playoff hopes. Montreal 10-2 on the season, coming into this game off of a loss, though, against BC. Calgary's lost 4 in a row, are going to hand the ball back to QB1.
Yeah, the 38-game starting streak for Jake Maier ended last week when Logan Bonner got the nod. Unfortunately for the Stamps, the losing skid did not come to an end, so Coach Dickinson goes back to his veteran today. Maier is 4-7 on the season. For Maier to win and the Calgary Stampeders to stop this skid, they'll have to know where Tyrese Beverette is at all times. Beverette entered this week tied for the league lead in defensive plays.
Jason Moss and the Montreal Alouettes 5-0 on the road this season, have won 8 in a row on the road overall, dating back to last year. Dave Dickinson, last 2 seasons, 10-20. Calgary's lost 4 in a row for the first time in 20 years. With that being said, pick up 2 points here today, and they're still in the thick of it in what has been a wild, wild year in the West.
Well, no question, the room for error for the Calgary Stampeders has disappeared. They need this one badly.
They will get the ball to start, and we are underway at McMahon in Calgary. This will be taken at the 20. Back to the 35. There's a flag on the field on the initial return of the ball game by Tucker.
So last week,
the return, illegal block, Calgary number 21, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Last week, the Calgary Stampeders, Dave Dickinson went with Logan Bonner. Bonner looked good to start the game, then got into some trouble with interceptions. 5 on the night in the Labor Day rematch. And Coach Dickinson goes back to Jake Maier. I mentioned he's 4-7. Career for the Calgary Stampeders, 17-24.
Last time we saw him, Labor Day, 297, a touchdown, 4 interceptions, 9 interceptions between the 2 quarterbacks in the last 2 weeks. They're going to start the game through the air, and a completion just outside the 30. Mark Michel did not have a catch last week.
Up on their offensive line, Deontre Desmarais is back at left tackle. Bryce Bell was a game day decision, and the decision was made that he will rest one more, so Kyle Saxlid will play at left guard. Their best player, and if you were voting right now for the MOP nominee for the Stamps, you'd pick Reggie Begelton. He has signed his painting every single game.
12 yards to Michel to start the game. 1st and 10 from the Calgary 32. Maier gets it out, has a completion near side, and it's back to Mark and Michel again against this Montreal defense.
Former Calgary Stampeder Isaac Adiemi Berglund doubled his sack total against the BC Lions in that loss last week from Montreal. There is Tyrese Beverette, who has absolutely filled up the stat line and is a front runner right now for outstanding defensive player in the entire CFL. And no Marc-Antoine Dequoy at safety. Arthur Hamlin out of Colgate starts at safety. He's a rookie. It's his first start tonight.
Back-to-back first downs for Calgary to get this started. Now they'll go on the ground. Dedrick Mills takes it out beyond the 45.
So Jake Maier wasn't really the reason that the Stamps were struggling, but he wasn't until the Labor Day game. And that's when I think Dave Dickinson said, after 4 interceptions from Jake Maier against the Elks defense, he thought maybe it's time now to see if we can provide a spark by starting Logan Bonner. Bonner went out, looked good out of the gate, as I mentioned, but then threw 5 picks. So in the last 2 games, Calgary quarterbacks have thrown 9.
2nd and 6 for Maier, and that is broken up at the 50, trying to get it to Reggie Begelton, and that'll bring up a 3rd down in a punting situation, and they'll bring Cody Grace out onto the field.
Yeah, just take a look at Begelton here. He is just 3 of the last 4 games over 100 yards, but whether he's getting 100 or not, he has been the one bright light really in this offense all season long.
Cosby broke that play up for the Alouettes defense. Grace set to kick it away. James Letcher Jr. Letcher, towering punt, finally drops in 56-yard kick, Fletcher near side. And he's knocked down right around the 18. We'll get our first look at Cody Fajardo when we return to McMahon Stadium. 13 touchdowns on the season, 6 wins, 2 losses in his 8 starts. Back to week 5, the first meeting of the season between these two clubs.
Well, the Calgary Stampeders had a 15-point lead in this game, and Cody Fajardo started slinging it all over the yard. I mean, it was the most attempts for Fajardo all season long with 42. He threw for 374 yards and a couple of touchdowns, a couple of interceptions in that one. And Montreal came storming back in the second half.
Starts here on his own 19, and they'll go on the ground. And nice job picking up. Ball pops out. Calgary hops on it. Just like that. And a discussion amongst officials, and they say
it's a turnover.
Stampeders ball as it pops out of the hands of Fletcher.
See, if Fletcher was down, he was a nice run. He went off the backside of the play and cut back towards the middle and right. Well, it doesn't look like he was down. It looked like Stats, the starting safety, got underneath there.
Yeah, I think that came out before he actually...
Well, he might have been on another defender. That's why he hadn't touched the ground yet. That ball bounced right into the Stampeders.
The previous play is under review by the command center.
There the ball is out.
Boy, he didn't look down to me.
And it's ruled a turnover on the field, so they'll have to find conclusive evidence that it wasn't automatically reviewed. All turnovers are.
12-yard pickup for Fletcher. Looked like a great start to the ball game for him, and then this happens.
See, I don't think his knee touched, because was that Stats underneath him?
Stats
the safety?
was underneath him, yeah.
Nick Stats. Getting his start in the Calgary Stampeder defensive backfield. What a way to get this thing started on the opening play for Montreal. Create a turnover. That's a forced fumble.
All right, let's get the official ruling down on the field.
After review, the play on the field stands.
I didn't know you could read lips.
I didn't see it.
Ruling on the field stands. Calgary ball on the Montreal 31. Great opportunity here for Jake Mayer. Mills will stand in to his left, and they'll give it to him right up the middle. Broke one tackle and lunges ahead. And he's going to be marked just shy of a Calgary first down.
Really has to be a sense of urgency right now. You get the sudden change turnover from your defense in the opening play. Instant great positive field position in scoring territory. I mean, the Stamps struggling coming into this game with 4 straight losses. And they can really grab some momentum. They can finish this drive with a major.
This would go a long way for a Calgary team that's still very much in the thick of it. But they got to pump the brakes on this 4-game slide. 2nd and 2. Back to Mills again. Finds some contact, has the first down. And the Stampeders will march into the red zone.
Good talk with Jake Mayer this week, and you know, sort of the mental approach for him. Did his best to do everything he could to help Logan Bonner in his start and be an extra set of eyes and be a pro about the decision by his head coach. But I got the sense he was really looking forward to this opportunity to get back in that starting spot, get the keys back in his hand.
Calgary red zone first time today. Mayer dumps it out, nowhere to go. Ball pops out. That's going to be picked up. I don't hear a whistle just yet. And did Montreal just take this back?
Well, Clark Barnes is a guy who shoots across the formation and gets this out in the flat. That play is made by Cosby, who steps up. From that linebacker spot, this defense that gives you all kinds of looks, and I don't think that Mayer saw Cosby coming from the outside there. Was he down?
Definitely down.
Caught, hit. There's the contact, elbow and backside. Yeah.
So back to the original line of scrimmage pretty much. And it'll be a 2nd and 10 after that ball briefly popped away from Barnes, but caused by the ground. And Jake Mayer will try to keep this drive alive from the Montreal 18. 3 options out to his left, looks over the middle, throws to the end zone, touchdown! A strike to Markin Michel, his 5th of the season, and the Stampeders strike first.
Usually down here defensively, especially against Montreal, you're going to see a lot more pressure packages coming at the quarterback. Not this time. This play, Noel Thorpe decides to go with 3-man pressure up front. When he goes with 3-man pressure, it gives Jake Mayer a nice throwing lane. He can see right down the middle. A 4th was added in late, but way too late. Great throw and catch. They had to have that touchdown after the turnover created by Nick Stats. That's big. A little confidence for a struggling team.
Tack on one more for a 7-0 lead early in the ball game. 4-play, 31-yard drive after the turnover. Jake Mayer with his 16th passing touchdown of the season as he finds Markin Michel wide open in the end zone.
Creates a turnover. You want to put it in the end zone right away. Here's the turnover. Nick Stats with a nice hit. Ball pops out of Fletcher's hands, and then it's Dedrick Mills. Back-to-back runs, aggressively getting a first down. A nice throw to Markin Michel for the touchdown. 4 plays, 31 yards, 2.5 minutes, and making Montreal pay for the turnover.
See the safety. But that's where we come back to it later. Remember, we're going to pump him. Hey, remember, we're going to pump him.
Markin Michel, as I mentioned, no catches last week. He's got 3 for 41 yards and a touchdown already here. Fletcher near side. Up, ball pops out again. Calgary trying to get on it and trickles out of bounds. Stampeders ball. What a start for the home side.
All you have to do is be the last to touch it before it goes out of bounds. You can't kick it out of bounds or it goes to the opposition, but the Calgary Stampeders, was it Mike Tights that got his hand on it? Cover team for Calgary. Ball was clearly out. With the hit there, ball's out, bouncing around. Does Calgary get to it? Yep, last touched. I think it was Micah Tights.
It was.
Crawl, yeah, just got his fingers on that.
Juicy field position again. Mayer takes over on the Montreal 23. Mayer wide open. Begelton has it, made one man miss, trying to break another tackle. Hangs onto the ball, taken out of bounds.
TOD, baby, let's go!
Well, what an opportunity for Calgary. How about that route running from Reggie Begelton coming back to the ball. He goes down the field, and he's going to come back and make sure that he separates from the defender as that ball is in the air. He wants to make sure that no defender can climb back up. Now, he's got lots of space, but he does the right thing fundamentally coming back anyway and gets a 12-yard gain.
1st and 10 from the Montreal 11. Mayer down to the 5, and that's through the hands of Begelton. Turned him around a little bit, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, this is the pressure I was talking about. Get down in this end of the field, you're going to see pressure. And that time, the Owls sent all their linebackers, including Darnell Sankey, and Jake Mayer had to basically get it out of his hands or he was going to get hit, and just missed Begelton.
Second and 10, 4 options out to the wide side right for Mayer. Pressure coming on the run, dumps it off. They'll get it to the 10. Any further, just a little bit. Dedrick Mills is stopped, and they'll settle for a field goal attempt after this 2nd turnover.
That time, Montreal a little more aggressive. in the sudden change situation defensively. That was back-to-back blitz packages from Noel Thorpe. Try and force a quicker throw, quicker decisions from Jake Mayer, and they end up getting the stop.
Chip shot for Paredes, 14-yarder. Only missed one all season. You know he was going to get that. Great start for the Calgary Stampeders, trying to snap a 4-game slide. They lead 10-0 early. I think the early story in this game here is Montreal's going to want to start to hang on to the ball suits.
Yeah, ball security. You know that Jason Moss on the sideline has been telling his team, look, you guys, protect the football. Ball security, keep that first and foremost in your mind. 2 quick turnovers in great field position. Cody Fajardo has not attempted a throw yet. They've only run 1 offensive play, and he's down 10-0.
Lots of time left in this ball game. Fajardo, as Glenn mentioned, has not yet made a pass in this game. There, he does this time. Short pickup on first down to Julian Grant.
Up front, the Montreal Alouettes offensive line has been together all season long. This is almost unheard of, that an offensive line doesn't have to make 1 change, and we are 2/3 into the season. And they do get Tyler Snead, even though they've lost Philpott for the season to injury. The good news is Tyler Snead off the injury list and back in the lineup.
Snead in his 2nd year out of East Carolina. Fajardo near side, drops that in. Rebel made a move, tackled well though, and we stopped short of the first down.
Well, you saw in that replay of the turnovers, you saw the reaction from the bench from Mark and Michelle, and just how excited. A team that is struggling really needs to get a couple of early breaks, and don't get me wrong, they're earned breaks. You know, coming up and creating turnovers by attacking the football. They get a couple of breaks. They've got good field position and should get good field position here again after the kick.
Peyton Logan waits for this. It'll be a punt into the wind. Pretty good breeze here at McMahon today. And that does hang up there. Logan slides up, takes it to the 20, 44-yard kick. First man down the field, wraps him up. Richards would not let him go. Jake Mayer started the game 6 of 8, 57 yards and a touchdown, as he's got his starting quarterback job back in Calgary.
It was interesting talking to Beverette on the Alouettes defense about that situation. He said any quarterback that gets taken out then brought back in has a lot to prove. So we know he's going to come in very fired up. And I don't know if you could ask for a more fired up start for the Stamps team today, guys.
That's been a great start for the Calgary Stampeders. I mean, outside of not settling for a field goal and punching in another touchdown, really couldn't have started any better. Jake Mayer had been the man here in Calgary for quite some time. See how he responds. Hands it off. Good running back in behind him here. Decent pickup just shy of the 30 into the hands of Dedrick Mills, his 4th carry of the ball game.
Well, it is a good start and one that a struggling team really needed. But it also is a familiar script when you go back to week 5.
True.
In the first half, the Stamps had a 23-12 lead and were in control of the game in Montreal. And in the second half, only scored 3 points. So there's a lot of football to be played. They know that. They've been there, done that.
Back to Mills again, and he is wrapped up. And that'll bring up 3rd down. Really didn't have anywhere to go that time. Antonio Moultrie all over him. That'll be 3rd and 3 on their own 29. So Cody Grace will kick it away. Some dark clouds in the distance there. I don't know if that's coming this way or not. Hopefully not.
And the wind looks a little tricky again. Let's see what that does to the passing game of both these quarterbacks.
That was almost blocked. Grace got it away. Letcher takes it, has a fumble in the game already. Trying to find some space on the far side. He is tripped up on the play. Well, Crave presents a rare behind-the-scenes look at one of professional hockey's most iconic franchises, the rebuild inside the Montreal Canadiens. Stream September 18th on Crave, presented by Bell.
Went to the Hockey Hall of Fame this year. They have a whole setup of the Montreal Canadiens locker room. Very cool.
That is cool.
Back in the day, I mean, Canadiens, like
the old one.
Yeah.
Montreal trying to kick things into high gear here. They'll get the ball back on their own 26. And that's pushed out beyond the 30 against this Calgary defense.
Mentioned there really no more wiggle room for the Calgary Stampeders. They've got to have their best players be their best players. So that starts with Mike Rose on the defensive line. In the linebacking court goes to Cameron Judge. Now, one change in the secondary, it's Nick Stats starting at safety. He's already created a fumble, but they do get, speaking of best players, Trey Roberson back at corner. He missed their last game. So they've got two all-stars at Demario Houston and Trey Roberson at the corners. They got to be big tonight.
6-yard pickup for Fletcher. They'll need 4 more. Fajardo gets it away just in time, and he's got a first down on the far side of the field. Tyler Sneed has his 3rd catch of the season.
Pretty good protection there by Nick Callender at left tackle, who's holding off the pass rush on the backside here because it looked close. I mean, you're talking about James Vaughters with a bull rush. He gets there just a little late. Fajardo is able to negotiate a bit. Wait till Sneed comes all the way across the formation, catches it right by their sideline.
7 yards to Sneed. Fresh set of downs in the Montreal 39. 4 receivers. Wide side left. Calgary brings pressure. Got it away. Could not hang on in the hands of Rambo.
Demario Houston. You know, the corners for the Calgary Stampeders, and Trey Roberson didn't play last week, but he did the week before. You know, they've been off their game, and these are all-star guys. Shut down corners. And that's what Demario Houston can do. Not only can he do that, but he'll take the ball away too. He's got 4 interceptions this year, and that's low for his standards. Those guys have big games, make it hard on Cody Fajardo.
2nd and 10. Fajardo from the pocket down the field. That's complete all the way up to the 50. And they'll have another first down. Back to Sneed again.
Cole Speaker does a nice job of, I'm going to call it, creating a rub, sort of. They're 2 receivers real close together on the trips receiver side. But watch how Cole Speaker here, the 3rd receiver, is kind of blocking out 2 defenders. Can't get to his teammate. I don't think that was by design. You don't usually have 2 receivers that close together.
Back on the ground. Maybe a yard possible. Look at this extra push. Looked like Calgary had him wrapped up, but Fletcher pushes it ahead for 6 out of nowhere.
Calgary Stampeders, one of their issues over this 4-game skid has been stopping the run. Allowed 579 yards in 4 games. That's 145 yards per game. Edmonton in the rematch rushed for 213. I mean, that's tough to win games when you can keep the ball on the ground and win the time of possession.
2nd and manageable after the extra effort from Fletcher. Fajardo gets it away near side. Good tackle at midfield. Kobe Williams hung on to Julian Grant, and that'll bring up 3rd down. Actually ended up losing a couple of yards on that completion.
Julian Grant back in the lineup for Montreal, along with Tyler Sneed. Someone's got to pick up those 72 targets from Tyson Philpott. Gone for the season. It's too bad. It was off to such a great start to the year. But we will see him next year. Who gets the extra targets?
There's a few guys they could go to. This is going to bounce at the 15. Logan takes it on the 1-hopper after a 46-yard kick. And he takes it out just beyond the 20.
The Ultra Hole Challenge is back, featuring Wayne Gretzky and Michael Block. Tune in on TSN Plus, live after the President's Cup.
Well, Jake Mayer late here in the first quarter. Calgary has actually led after the first quarter 7 times this season. They've lost 6 of them.
But I was going to say.
They've lost 6 of them.
Yeah.
The last 6 times they led after the first quarter, they've gone on to lose the football game. So they have started relatively well. Fallen apart after that. We'll talk about that a little bit more in the second quarter. Handoff here goes absolutely nowhere.
Well, that D-line stepping up there. Mustafa Johnson, along with Eddie Berglund, just end that play before it even gets started. That's Mills just taking the handoff, not taking a step forward, and facing 2 of the biggest D linemen on that team in the hole.
Montreal heavy on that defensive line. They'll drop off a couple. Pressure still coming. Flag on the play. Jake rolls to his left and misses a man on the far side of the field. Clark Barnes on a flag to sort out here.
Not sure if Clark Barnes saw that ball. See what this flag is. It was a show
Illegal
blitz
procedure.
look.
Calgary number 90. That penalty is declined. It's the end of the quarter.
That'll do it for the opening 15 minutes. The Calgary Stampeders benefiting off a couple of Montreal turnovers and have themselves a 10-0 lead as they try to find their way back into the win column. Calgary leads 10-0, 10 points off of turnovers against a Montreal team that certainly will not be panicking at this stage of the football game.
Well, no, this happened back in week 5. They had a 23-12 lead. The Calgary Stampeders did, and Montreal came all the way back and won that game. Also, the last time the Owls lost a game, they won 5 straight right after. They haven't lost 2 in a row all season long. So, you know, there's a lot of football to be played, 3 quarters to go, and this team knows how to win. So Calgary's got to be on point, get out of the shadow of their goalposts right now.
Well, yeah, that's what I was just going to say. This punt is going to come from about the 5. About maybe the 10 by the time he lets it fly.
Yeah, I think that's what Coach Dickinson was upset with. He was hoping they'd get another second on the clock so he could punt with the wind.
Yeah. This will be into a pretty heavy wind. If they get it away, they don't. It's blocked. It's sitting there. It's picked up and taken home. Touchdown, Montreal.
Completely overloaded. I'm not sure who shot the gap and got there.
Sean Thomas Erlington.
It was, yeah, Thomas Erlington. But you can see how outnumbered the Stamps are in protections. With 2 wide players like this, they've got to come in and try and pick up someone in the inside.
Is under review by the command center.
All right, this play is under review. Are they looking at the plant leg of the kicker here?
Well, Sean Thomas Erlington was so close to being there. Well, he got all ball. I mean, that looks like a clean block punt to me.
Now, blocks it. And then,
well, this rule has been changed, and what it used to be was if you got a piece of the ball, even if you touched it and it was punted downfield, if you got a piece of the ball, you could hit the kicker, and there was no penalty. They changed that. Now you have to block the ball cleanly without touching the plant leg or the kicking leg. There may be a penalty.
Well, there was contact in there.
No,
I mean,
no question.
Yeah.
So that rule has been changed.
This looks like it might be coming off the board. Let's get the call.
Give me some.
After review by the command center, we have a major foul, roughing the kicker, Montreal number 21. Be a 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
You know, and Coach Moss is thinking back to the old rule, I'm sure. And thinking if you block it that clean and you're that clean to the kicker, you know, it's almost impossible for him not to hit the leg of the kicker as well. But he's talking about the plant leg there too. And so Sean Thomas Erlington has to go across the body, get the ball and not the kicker's legs, especially that plant leg at the bottom.
What a turn of events. That's taking a touchdown off the board and moving the ball up to the Calgary 33.
Now, you cannot agree with the rule, but that is the rule now.
What a swing. Mayer out into the flat to his running back. Nowhere to go, though. Great play by Cosby to wrap up Dedrick Mills. Loss of 5 yards on first down.
Yeah, Calgary a few breaks early in this one. And, you know, based on that clean shot by Sean Thomas Erlington blocking that kick, I wouldn't be surprised at all to see this in the offseason being another topic of discussion in Rules Committee. If you're that clean, get full ball on a block.
It just looks like such a great block,
yeah,
right?
I mean, yeah.
Mayer gets this one away down the field, falls incomplete at the 40. Was looking back to Markin Michel, who already has 3 catches in this game.
I think there was some confusion in the receiving core there in the route tree for Markin Michel. He was talking there to Reggie Begelton, trying to sort something out, although he looked like he had his hands on it.
So they'll kick it away again, 3rd and 15. Letcher stands on his own 33, waiting for this ball. That one was almost blocked, was deflected actually, and bounces at the 50 and heads out of bounds just outside the 40. Montreal Alouettes, Mason that time, causing all types of issues for Cody Grace. Small piece of that one. Saying that he will be back healthy and write his next chapter in 2025, and what a chapter it could end up being.
300-yard games plus for Philpott. Jalen here haven't been able to play against each other this year, haven't been both healthy at the same time, but who gets the extra targets? Because he was getting 8 a game.
Tyson heavily involved in their offense. A flag right at the end of this carry.
Well, the other thing is that Montreal lost Austin Mack. He came back from his NFL tryouts and limited action, and then was injured again. Now, apparently he's not going to be too long.
Illegal block, hands to the face. Calgary number 99. 10-yard penalty. The result will be a first down.
But as we mentioned, Julian Grant back in the lineup, Tyler Sneed, and still have Charleston Rambo over there, who has 630 yards receiving this season.
Tough to lose Philpott. Opportunity for others to contribute significantly in this Montreal offense. An offense that's been stuck in neutral so far here today. Handed off, right up the middle. Look at this, Fletcher down to the 25. Will they catch him? He gets to the 5 and he's tripped up. Fletcher, what a burst. Right up the middle. Almost took it to the house. 55 yards on the ground for Walter Fletcher.
Well, by alignment, Cameron Judge and Mike Alway were right there. Alway gets blocked. The second level, I believe it was Philip Gagnon who comes out off his guard position, gets up on Alway. You get Alway blocked. Cameron Judge moved to his right, widened and opened the middle. Fletcher hit it.
Roberson saves the touchdown. Longest run of the season for Fletcher. Alouettes in business. 1st and goal from the Calgary 3. Fajardo by himself. Walks it in. Touchdown, Montreal. Cody Fajardo does it again. His 4th rushing touchdown of the campaign.
Great call by Jason Moss. After the big run from Walter Fletcher, why not go with a little fake to the run and then a bootleg outside for Cody Fajardo, who goes untouched. If Fletcher just had a big run, so fake it there and go out and around the edge and just influence the defense, saying, yeah, we're going to run it again. No, I'm pulling it. See how the entire defense was influenced by that fake, and Fajardo was all by himself out there.
Pretty much had everybody bite on that one. Maltos for one more, and we've got a 3-point ball game. 3 plays, 68 yards on that touchdown drive, the bulk of it on the ground with Walter Fletcher.
Happy birthday, Luca boy. Happy 2nd birthday. I love you.
That's Mike Alway right there on the big run, and just watch how Gagnon gets to the 2nd level here. He doesn't see anyone right in front of him, so he steps up to the 2nd level and takes out Mike Alway. Cameron Judge had widened to the right side of the formation. Walter Fletcher has a huge hole up the middle, and he hits it. And then they thought they were going back to the run. Nope. Great call to go to Fajardo on the boot.
He just strolls into the end zone, and Montreal gets on the board, trailing 10-7 now early in the 2nd quarter. Everybody back to the tablets on the sideline. Hammered away. Big kick taken inside the 5 on the far side of the field. And the return in the hands of Cole Tucker.
7 of 11, 51 yards. The touchdown throw to Mark and Michelle. Major off of a turnover for Jake Mayer.
Well, their damage has been done here on great field position after turnovers. We'll see if Jake can put together a drive that starts in this area of the field on the Calgary 21. Three options out to his left. Pressure right up the middle. Had to get rid of it quickly, and it falls incomplete. He was looking for Reggie Begelton. Here's Reggie Begelton last week versus Edmonton. Didn't find the end zone, but had 8 catches for 123 yards. He's got 3 100-yard games this season. Those are the only 3 that the Stampeders have. He's got them all. 2nd and 10 for Jake here. Pressure in his face again. Over the middle, Mark and Michelle. Flagged back by the quarterback. Would have had the first down.
Yeah, it's going to be a late hit on Cody Fajardo.
Major foul, roughing the passer. Montreal number 19. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Anton Arcou.
They had the first down by the play too, but Ken Arcou comes from depth. He comes around on that stunt, and it was a little bit late plus high.
After the catch and the flag, 27-yard swing here, and that ball is now up on the Calgary 48s. Handed off out beyond the 53 yards for Dedrick Mills.
Calgary Stampeders are searching for how to break this skid and trying to do as much self-scouting as they can, figure out what they can do better. You know, they go with an offense that Dave Dickinson has had tons of success with in the past, But when you watch it, you know, the one thing that I would say, they're very static. There's not a lot of pre-snap motion. And that can give a defense confidence. You don't see any pre-snap really. Waggle to the line, yes, but no side-to-side motion.
2nd and 7, Mayer far side. Coming back for that ball was Eccles. And he's going to be stopped a yard short.
It's a little out route from Cam Eccles there. Just sit down and then get thrown out of bounds by Nafis Lyons.
So 3rd and 1. Tommy Stevens time here. Quick change on the ball.
There's a short yardage, special short yardage ball.
Tommy Stevens been pretty good at this all season, pushing it ahead a little bit closer than we thought. The ball pops out. Whistles have gone. Montreal tried to take it the other way. Looks like they've marked him.
The ruling on the field is forward progress was stopped.
And it looks like they've marked him for a 1st down here. It'll be close.
Hey, you know where he's from? Hey, Kyle.
Doesn't have to really be brought to the ground to have the refs basically say what they announce, which is his forward progress is stopped. They have stopped the play. Whistles were blown.
This is going to be really close. I thought the spot looked like it was further up the field, but they've moved it back a bit here. So let's see. I don't know if they got this.
By
Just
half
enough.
the ball, yeah.
Just enough.
They don't miss many, do they? 23 of 24 coming into this game in short yardage. Tommy Stevens been a beast there.
He's got 8 touchdowns as well, so he takes care of business when they get on the edge of the end zone as well. They work from the Montreal 52, a drive that started on the Calgary 21. Big hole here, right up the middle, pushing it ahead. Could be another 1st down. Flags on the far side of the field at the end of the play. Great push from Dedrick Mills.
Right side of the O-line, getting it done.
After the play, we have a 15-yard UR on Calgary, number 54. Be 2nd down.
That's Joshua Coker, the right tackle. Not sure what he did or said. He was tied up and it was a nice block to get the kick out on, I believe it was Derek Wigan, a former Calgary Stampeder.
The previous play resulted in a 1st down, so we're going to go back 15. It'll be a 1st down.
So they get the yards against, but they had 1st down already made. There's Coker after the fact.
They gave him the 1st down, move it back.
That was Adiemi Berglund, not Wigan.
Just 3 on that defensive line for Montreal here. That's all they sent. A little bit of a delayed draw handoff. Right up the middle, another 1st down. Right back into the belly of Mills. And he moves the chains.
Getting some nice blocking off that right side, so why not go right back to it? This is a design draw play where Mayer takes the ball, fakes like he's going to throw, and then underneath handoff, nice kick out block by Christy Nakanu, the right guard. 14-yard gain for Dedrick Mills.
Hamlin and Sutton from the secondary having to step up and make the run stop there. Now out near side. Philpott 1st time today. He's got some room. Takes it down inside the 30 before he's pushed out of bounds. Another first down, and the Stampeders are marching.
He got a great block right at the point of attack. I think it was Reggie Bagleton who gets the block, and I won't be surprised at all, and neither should anybody else. This is what he does. He doesn't have to have the ball to make a difference. Got the block and didn't get the holding call. That's the one you got to make. That first defender coming up on those little screens. You got to get him. If you don't get him, it's a no gain. Nice block by 84.
Just past the midway point of the second quarter here in Calgary. Mayer dumps it out again. Mills takes it ahead. Anton Arcou and Deontay Ruffin there to stop him after a decent pickup on first down. Got about half of what they need.
You know, when the Calgary Stampeders look at game tape, they should just watch Reggie Bagleton, and they should, if they follow his example, they'll win games. They'll get back in the win column. I mean, he hasn't had the ball in the last 3 or 4 plays, and I've watched him make his block every single time at the point of attack. Positive gains.
2nd and 6. Alouettes show some pressure. They bring it up the middle. It's got away. Man on the far side. His ankle's trying to escape. He could not. Held onto there by Ento, but still picked up 9 and a first down.
A good second effort there, but the tackle was made. But this, you asked at the beginning of this drive, can Jake Mayer put together a long drive? He's took advantage with a field goal and a touchdown after turnovers, but could he drive the field? Now they've got it going offensively. Dedrick Mills involved, penalty aided, but they've been making plays.
I had a penalty backed them up too.
Yeah, one
and
that
pushed back
up
through it. In the red zone again. 1st and 10 from the Montreal 15. Mayer looks to the right, throws to the right. Guns it in there again for Eccles, and he's down at the 2.
Jake Mayer has been excellent in the red zone. He's the leading receiver, or excuse me, leading quarterback in passing percentage. And he's 2nd in touchdown passes. That one didn't quite get to the goal line, and that is a catch by Eccles.
Great job to hang on to that.
Yeah, he just barely did, didn't he?
Tommy Stevens into the game. 8 rushing touchdowns on the season. 1st and goal from the Montreal 2 for Tommy. Bobbles the ball. The Alouettes, can they take it away? Somewhere under that pile, the officials search to see who has it. Where is it?
Nothing is given. Oh, look, it is Montreal ball.
Alouettes take it away.
Wow, they've ruled Montreal ball. It looks like they're still looking.
Still fighting for it down there. Tommy Stevens has been so good this year.
Oh boy.
Bobbles the snap. Wow.
Look, Tommy Stevens down in the short yardage formation. Clearly that's out. The bad exchange from center. The battle for it at the bottom. Now Stevens was irate and mad with the officials. I'm not sure if he was arguing that he had it and was down and then it was ripped out of his hands at the bottom of that pile, but long drive goes for naught for the Calgary Stampeders, and that one hurts.
It was a 12-play, 87-yard drive that took 7 minutes and 20 seconds. And they turn it over at the 2. Fajardo, a deep shot. Why not? Rambo's got it out at the 45, beyond the 50. And just like that, Montreal flips the field.
Cody Fajardo pays for this one, but he'll be fine with it. He's going to launch this. Gets hit and thrown to the ground as he's getting rid of this. He finds Rambo. Rambo's in behind coverage. I mean, this had to be a bust. There's no way defensively that Rambo should be that far in behind. It looked like he just ran an outstanding route on the outside against DeMario Houston. 50-yard gain and flop in the field in one play after the turnover. Owls win this game. TSN turning point right down on the 1-yard line right there.
Would have been a back-breaking drive from the Stampeders. Instead, it doesn't work. Now they get it into the hands of Sneed. And he picks up close to 4 yards. That takes us to 3 minutes here in Calgary. The Stampeders look like they were about to extend the lead, but unable.
Panel coming up at halftime. Myself, Jim Barker, Milt Siegel. We've officially lost Matt Dunnigan, though. It's flicks on the field here at Tim Hortons Field. And you know what? He's watching Inside Out. Great movie. Great movie.
Just under 3 minutes to play. 2nd and 7 at midfield, and they're going to be stopped a yard short. And that will bring up 3rd down. Davis into the game for short yardage for the Alouettes. Cody Fajardo, 7 of 8, 79 yards. 50 of them coming on this drive. A big strike to Charleston Rambo. Dominic Davis looking to pick up the 1st down straight ahead. Should have it. Looks like enough.
About 1st down away from field goal range, and take a look at the wind. Maltos would have it at his back right now. Probably in range in about 5 or 6 yards, but I know they want more and lots of time to do that, but they were backed up on their own 1-yard line moments ago.
Now they stand on the Calgary 47. 4 receivers, wide side right for Fajardo. That's where he looks first. Then he dumps it off to his running back Fletcher. Read well and contained by the Stampeders defense. 3-yard pickup.
Yeah, interesting innovation here offensively for Jason Moss, as he's going to go and pretend that this is a wide screen or a bubble screen almost to hitch screen to a receiver in Julian Grant. There's the fake, and then to the opposite direction. What he wants to do is get the DBs and linebackers flying over to those receivers over there, Julian Grant, and then throw it backside to Fletcher on a little screen. Only got 3 out of it, but I like the play.
Fajardo, as Calgary sends 5, stays in the pocket. Now he's in trouble and taken down.
Yeah, he didn't want to take a sack there either, because it probably takes him out of field goal range.
Gang tackled. Julian Hauser was there. Wouters was there.
Might have been close anyway. The ball was on the 45. That would have been a 52-yard field goal attempt. Maltos long on the season is 50, so it may not have made the difference in this case, but Jason Moss deciding to punt the ball here.
Logan and Tucker await the kick. Calgary will get the ball with about 90 seconds left. Low snap, but 1 hop in. There's a flag on the play as well, as this is kicked out of bounds. We'll have to see what this flag is, as that snap along the turf into the hands of Zima. And now a really late flag that was just thrown on the near sideline. That was kicked out of bounds just outside the 15. So they'll have to sort that out as well.
So if it's outside the 15, that's a penalty. That's what that flag is.
Officials with a couple of things to get organized here. We're hearing that there may be one penalty on each team. Okay. Now, 2 against the Stampeders.
Well, the kick out of bounds isn't.
Well, that would be against. I think.
That's not Calgary.
Are there 3 flags here? Like, so there's that first one, and then the kick went out at the 17. So that flag came later once they determined that. So that's 1 on each, but. Conversation with Jason Moss right now.
Yeah, but you know, I mean, Tom Plessy's the head official right now, and they're trying.
We have a procedure on Calgary for lining up over the center, and we have a legal punt out of bounds. So we're going to go back 5 yards from the previous line of scrimmage, and we're going to be 3rd down again.
Okay, we got that sorted out. All I would suggest is maybe the Cole's notes of explanation to the coaches. Yes, you've got to tell them what's going on, but tell them and move on.
Yeah.
Let's not negotiate. Let's not talk to them. Let's not educate and go right into the playbook, deep into the nuance of the playbook. Just tell them what you're doing and let's move on. There's the kick out of bounds. They take a second to mark that. There's 2 officials involved with that. They're just going to walk up, and if it's outside of the 15-yard line, that's the penalty flag there, and then all that and 5 yards difference.
And we'll do it again. Wind at the back of Zima as he gets set to let this fly late in the opening half. That hangs up there. Tucker takes it just inside the 5. Nowhere to go on the return.
That worked out for Montreal, didn't it?
Calgary will be backed up here, but a sack of Cody Fajardo. Gang tackled by the Stampeders. There, a couple of veterans here today at McMahon. Mayer gets the ball with 1:16 to work. Hands it off, and his running back's got a first down again. Boy, Dedrick Mills tacks on 15 more. An excellent first half for Dedrick Mills.
Well, you know, if there's one sort of chink in the armor for the Montreal Alouettes on defense, it's against the run. I mean, 6 times this year they've given up over 100 yards on the ground, and their 2 losses against BC last week and then early in the season against Toronto, they gave up 188 and 183 yards on the ground.
Yeah, they allowed the 8th most in the league, and there's another first down right up the guts.
So, and part of the reason for that, I believe, is that they do a lot of show blitz, a lot of getting into the line of scrimmage with their linebackers or playing them in radical positions way outside in different places where you're not used to seeing linebackers, and then they rotate back into their spots.
Now back in the hands of Mills again, this time through the air. He's got 80 rushing yards so far, and he's up in the face at Darnell Sankey.
Oh, there you go. A little trash talk going on. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Well, you don't get a penalty for it.
Well, Calgary keeps moving here. You could say it'll be a kick into the wind for Paredes, but he's one of the best to ever do it.
Oh, baby.
A chippy one here between the Stampeders and the Alouettes. I love it.
That's Coker again. I think he had one earlier.
He did.
Trash talk between Darnell Sankey and Dedrick Mills. Over there at the right tackle. Coker saw the early movement and thought it was a chance to go after him, and then Stoffa Johnson just kind of body slammed him. That's a 320 pound right tackle.
Offside, Montreal number 94. 5-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
So a 5-yard penalty, but a much more manageable 2nd down situation for the Stampeders.
Yeah, and I think it's a great idea for Tom Plessy there to probably tell both players, look, do it again, we're going to call you. We won't do it this time. It was just the offside, but a warning, I'm sure, was sent out there.
Settle down a bit, boys.
Yeah,
eh?
yeah.
Oh, they need 2 more yards. They're going to hand it off. Trying to push ahead, thrown down heavily. It's a first down, though. Peyton Logan into the game.
Be into a slight breeze for Paredes. He's had a 57-yarder this year.
That's his career long.
Into a bit of a win. They need a chunk play here.
Pressure coming. Mayer gets it away. Hit as he throws. Finds Begelton up at midfield with 17 seconds on the clock. Pressure in the face of Jake that time.
Yeah, that was a money play by Jake Mayer. He's going to take the hit. But he's got Begelton there. He knows it's coming because they can't block them all. That's from the secondary and Wesley Sutton.
2nd and 3 from the Montreal 54. Pressure again. This time the ball pops out. It's going to be picked up by Montreal and off to the races the other way. Mustafa Johnson cuts it inside. Time expires and he gets tackled at the 5. What a finish to the opening half here at McMahon.
Sutton on another blitz. Unblocked off the edge. Gets to Jake Mayer. And I don't think his arm was going forward. I mean, it won't matter. The time expired. The blitz is coming from top left corner of your screen. And you tell me, is that arm moving forward? I think he got it just before it did.
He just straight up batted that ball away.
Mustafa Johnson could have fumbled it. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge into the end zone. I know that's easy to say from up here.
Oh, Jake Mayer has his job back. He's got his team in front. 14 of 19 for 116 yards and a touchdown in the first half for the Calgary quarterback as he tries to settle back in under center. He stands by with Britt Dort.
Jake, kind of a wild first.
And they only have a 3-point lead.
When they had that
team should take control of this game, but Calgary's desperate. They've got the lead. They have run double the number of plays offensively as Montreal, and they only have a 3-point lead.
When they had that chance to pump one in and it got stopped at the 2 with a fumble from Tommy Stevens. So long way to go in this one. Letcher on the return. There's a flag as he's tripped up at the 45. Here's a look at Cody Fajardo, 8 of 9 for 82 yards in the first half, plus a rushing touchdown.
During the return, holding. Montreal number 37.
Yeah, I think the big play for Fajardo in that first half, he got the rushing touchdown, but this was the big one because that was after the fumble on the 1-yard line when Calgary had driven the ball 87 yards to the 1 or 2. Montreal got the fumble, and that big play to Rambo got him out of the hole quickly. By the way, one of the great names in CFL football right now, Rambo.
Oh yeah.
No, I brought that up before.
You have a lot of fun with that one.
Yeah.
They'll start after a penalty against Sutton, back on their own 20, and they'll start it on the ground. Good job sneaking in behind a blocker there by Fletcher, and a pretty good pickup on first down.
Yeah, you mentioned what do these teams have to do now in the second half? Well, you saw in the stats that both teams defensively have given up almost 90 yards in the first half along the ground. So the team that shores it up, stopping the run, has the best chance to win in this second half.
Six yards for Fletcher. Fajardo looking to throw here. Near side, wide open. Julian Grant's got it. First down, Montreal. He was waiting for that one, wasn't he?
Yeah, I mentioned the offensive line for Montreal playing in every single game, and Fajardo sat in there nicely and went through his progressions. He looked over the middle, he waited for that out to develop, and then hit Julian Grant with lots of time and no one in his face.
14-yard pickup for 11 in white. Working against Demario Houston. Tries to set it down from the 40. Some pressure from Calgary. Fajardo back pedals, heaves one down the field, and that is broken up. Looking for Julian Grant again, but Roberson denies him.
Julian Grant had the inside leverage, but Roberson didn't quit on the play. Mentioned that for Calgary to get out of this losing skid, they've got to have their best players make plays like this. I mean, this is Trey Roberson. This is a lockdown guy, and he gets there and strips him. He puts his right hand up in between the hands of Julian Grant and pulls that ball. Look at that right hand come through there.
What a play.
That's a great play by a corner that's been an all-star.
2nd and 10. Fajardo under pressure, takes off himself, stays on his feet, lunges ahead, but will be stopped well short of that first down marker. 6-yard pickup for Cody, but in the end, they'll have to punt it away.
Yeah, I wonder if that was a play call issue, because first of all, Montreal had 4 receivers into the short side of the field. You almost never see that. They 4 receiver pack goes to the wide side. Second of all, that fake went to nothing.
The 4 guys on the short side of the field had me thrown for a loop there.
Yeah, that doesn't happen very often, if ever.
Logan waits, now takes it near sideline. 49-yard kick returned to about the 30. Dedrick Mills, huge first half. 80 yards on 12 carries. Will they stick with him here in the... Oh, an excellent first half for Dedrick Mills, an important piece of this offense for Calgary.
Yeah, balance. Matt Dunnigan again, he mentioned at halftime, 19 passes, 14 runs in the first half. Dedrick Mills had some success, almost 90 yards rushing. The Calgary offense really keep that balance in there and keep this disguising Montreal defense that likes a lot of different looks and movement. Get them chasing the run. It's gold, Jerry, gold.
Got to make life easier for Jake Mayer having Mills in there with him. They'll start it on the ground again. Tackle made, Sankey among the first in on the play.
Yeah, at some point, Darnell Sankey's going to say, okay, hold on.
Enough's enough.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not going to allow this to keep going all night. So we'll see. And Tyrese Beverette, we haven't really mentioned, but talked to Jake Mayer this week, and we asked him about Beverette and his play, and he says, you know, sometimes when you're playing Montreal's defense, it feels like they've got 16 guys out there.
Because he's everywhere.
Because he just moves around, and Tyrese is everywhere. Sometimes he's a safety, sometimes he's up there. We never know where Sankey lines up.
Mayer, wide open man. Spin move. Eccles, he's got a first down. That's his 4th catch of the game. He's caught all 4 targets thrown in his direction.
Now, I don't want to sound like Jake was saying that he was, you know, in any way intimidated by this defense. He was just mentioning that they're one of the top defenses because of all the different looks they give him. So Noel Thorpe, you know, sometimes he'll put Darnell Sankey way wide like a defensive end, and then Sankey goes from that spot right back to the middle, and Beverette's all over this place, as you mentioned.
Sankey, 74 tackles on the season, 10 of them coming last week against BC.
There they go now.
Trying to stretch it out here, and that has nowhere to go. Well, Sankey.
Beverette's stats are off the charts. Sankey's right behind him, you know, especially in the tackle department. There's the leaders. You know, first of all, look at that. Like, those 2 linebackers, Niles and Nick, are basically racing each other to get to the tackles. 1 and 2, both on the same team.
Yeah, they're both all around it, aren't they?
You know, and then 3 and 4, both on the same team.
2nd and 9, 4 options out to the right. That's where they go. Reggie Begelton. Begelton turns it upfield. Look at this. He's got a first down and takes it on to Montreal's side of the field. His biggest play of the ball game.
That's a lateral, first of all, so if he drops that, that's a fumble. Great effort. Not looking for the sideline, looking straight up the field.
Back on the ground. Good second effort. And they'll get 5 with Mills. Here's Begelton. He's been really ramping things up as of late.
Yeah, let's show you graphically what he's done over the last 5 games. I mentioned he's had 300-yard games, but the other 2 were that close. I mean, 97 and 92. And you saw that one series where Begelton didn't touch the football, didn't get a target once, but made 3 key blocks to spring teammates.
He's got 3 catches here. He now has a catch in 65 straight games. Back to him again at the 40, spins it ahead, and that's very close to a Calgary first down.
Well, these Montreal defenders rip at the football. And a couple weeks ago, we were covering Montreal, talked to Jason Moss about it. They practice this. And I asked him, I said, you know, your guys always seem to be ripping at the football. But how do you practice that? Because you don't want to have a guy like get a sprained thumb or broken finger because in practice you're always smacking at the football, ripping. And he goes, oh no, our guys do it every practice. And if you hear any complaints, they say, what, you're not tough enough to hold on to the ball? Like they start bugging each other about it. So they compete in practice ripping the ball out.
Calgary works from the Montreal 40, putting together a nice drive here. Mayer, far side of the field, and that one hauled in. Clark Barnes coming back to the ball. First down, Calgary.
That's a good catch by Clark Barnes. It was a tough one because he's running the deep out here. Sits down, and he had to come back and go down, had his hands kind of backwards to come down low to get that.
Had to turn it over, didn't he?
Yeah, that's difficult to get your hands in that position. Usually you're scooping down there with both hands underneath to keep it off the turf, but he pulled that in.
16 yards to Barnes. Down to the 24 of Montreal. 4 options wide side left. They're going to run it to the right. Mills pushing ahead and takes it down inside the red zone.
Now again, outstanding completion percentage in the red zone for Jake Mayer. He's got 12 touchdowns in the red zone and wasn't on the field when Calgary fumbled on the 1 or 2 yard line in that long 87-yard drive, which they seem to have been able to bury right now. I thought that might be so devastating that it affects their second half.
2nd and 5 to keep this drive alive here. They'll clear things out. Empty backfield. Mayer gets it away. Can they find that first down marker? Pushing it ahead. It'll be close. I think they might have it. This will depend on the spot. Back to Eccles again. 5th catch of the game for him.
Well, if they're short, they're going to go here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know, I mean, this is Eccles out there at that wide out spot.
It is a 3rd down.
Again, down in plus territory, and Tommy Stevens got to get that snap from center now. See him rubbing those hands together. I got to get.
Stevens needs inches, pushes it ahead, and he's got it. Calgary's offense will remain on the field.
Here's the red zone production for Jake Mayer. He's got another one tonight. So he had 12 coming in, 1 behind McLeod Bethel Thompson. Now tied at 13 in the red zone. He's over 75% completion percentage down there too. So
well, those are important numbers for a quarterback who's kind of had a bit of an up and down campaign.
And big, especially when you consider defenses are sending the pressure down there.
They're going to work from the Montreal 12 this time. 4 receivers out to the left for Jake. They'll hand it off, get some extra blocking in there. And a short pickup on first down. Once again for Mills, who works his way towards 100 yards. Not there yet, but it seems like it's just a matter of time.
I would suggest this is a very big play in this game. Lots of time to go, but this one for a struggling team on a 4-game losing streak, they need a play here. Dave Dickinson's got to go deep into that play card.
He's feeling the same way as you, isn't he?
I
You see
think
that,
he
Brett?
is. You could tell how important this play is right here.
13th play of the drive for Calgary. It's a 2nd and 8 from the Montreal 10. Can they pick it up? Mayer with time in the pocket. Dumps it off to Mills. He's got to make some magic here, and he can't. Stop just inside the 10. Nowhere to go, and they'll have to settle for the field goal attempt.
I felt like that was a design play to just take a couple of steps, take a beat, and then get it to Mills out of the backfield. I'm not sure that unless someone sprung wide open that Jake Mayer was gonna press this, almost like they were thinking, you know, if we don't get it, it's a field goal, it's points on the drive. But that looked like predetermined almost that he was going out there to Dedrick Mills.
Okay, he had Reggie Bagleton right in the middle of the field there, too.
Off the break, yes, he did.
Nope. Put that through for 3 more. Calgary is 1 for 4 in the red zone so far tonight. And
going to the Glen.
So Calgary has to settle for a field goal after what was almost a 9-minute, 13-play drive. Fajardo waits, far side, wide open, just past midfield. He finds Sneed for the 3rd time today.
Well, 2 things have to happen for this to work. You have to run past and get the corner. In this case, I believe it's Roberson. You have to get, or no, it's Houston. You have to get him off, first of all. So that's what's the decoy, Julian Grant. Sneed then just dies right there by the sideline on the deep out. It's a 21-yard gain, but you need that deep ball or the deep threat to pull the corner off.
Already up to the Calgary 49. Fajardo, that one away, and it's called incomplete right away.
I was
just a little bit ahead.
I was going to mention the last time these 2 teams played, Walter Fletcher had 100 yards receiving. You know, and I think if you know that both these coaches studied that game big time when they were getting ready for this matchup. That might be one thing that Montreal can do. Go back to just throwing those swing throws and screens to Fletcher.
Well, coming into this game, Fletcher is 533 yards through the air, 504 on the ground, so definitely dual threat. Fajardo looks to his right. That's where he's going to throw. Finds a spot in the defense. Julian Grant's got it down inside the 35. A 1st down for the Alouettes.
Yeah, nice accuracy from Cody Fajardo here. Just timing was there. Sat down in the zone. We've said it many, many times. Watching different defenses play different zone looks. There's always going to be an opening. There's a weak spot in every zone. Can the quarterback find it and have the timing to put it in there? And Fajardo does it to Julian Grant there. But yeah, targets for Walter Fletcher in the passing game, more than any back in the league.
57 coming in. That's catches. We're not even talking targets at that number. Here's Fajardo now. Flush into the pocket this time. On the run to his right. Just has to wisely throw it away with pressure there in the form of Clarence Hicks and James Wouters.
Week 5, Walter Fletcher was targeted 9 times. Yeah, I think the targets for him are up around 7.
Yeah.
And when you're looking at 9 for 9, he was targeted 9 times in that game in week 5 and had 9 catches for over 100 yards, 104 yards. So that was a way to keep the Calgary defense guessing, throwing it to him out in the swing patterns and those little screen passes, crossing routes.
Even last week in the loss, he only had 6 carries, but he had 8 catches on 8 targets for 72 yards. So heavily involved in the passing game. 2nd and 10. Fajardo in trouble, can't get it away, and he's taken down. He ran into trouble as he tried to find some open space. Sambu's got his first CFL sack.
Well, Cody Fajardo might go grab the tablet and look at what we just were talking about in one of his weapons. Watch how Fletcher swings out here after the snap of the ball, and Fletcher would be one-on-one if Cody Fajardo gives it to him early. Stop it right there. Look at him wide open. There's a one-on-one now with all that field either side if he gives him the ball out in that flat.
Going to be a 54-yard field goal attempt. 53 is where they're going to put it down. Maltos as long as 50 on the season. The wind here that was pretty strong in the first half seems to have died down right now. That kick is up, and it is just enough. Oh, that was close, wasn't it?
Snuck it over the crossbar.
Season long for Maltos. He got just enough of this one from 53 yards. 3 full night. I will say, though, it's a little nippy out.
You're starting to feel it, aren't you?
This is the first weekend where we've been doing games out here in the West where I'm like, a little chilly. I think it's about 13 degrees right now. This is not a t-shirt and shorts game. Hoodie and shorts, maybe.
Beautiful weather for playing. You like it a little crisp.
Jake Mayer throwing on first down. And once again, right back to Reggie Begelton. That should do it for the third quarter of play here on a Saturday at McMahon. The Stampeders desperately trying to find a win. They've lost 4 in a row, but they lead 13-10 as we head to the fourth quarter on TSN.
Tyler White. The symbols are used paint styles that would be used for horses on special occasions, including going into battle. Now, some of the things it represents, the lightning bolts are for speed and agility, the stripes for acts of valor. Now, my favorite part, the handprint on the chest represents a fierce, fearless horse who would knock down enemies and bring the riders home unharmed, guys.
So cool.
That is neat, isn't it?
I mean, I vote that stays permanently.
Beautiful, beautiful looking logo on those lids.
Yeah.
That's real nice.
Very cool.
First and 10 for Calgary from the 52. Give it to the running back. Nowhere to go. I mentioned, it's been busy weekend. This is going back to August at the Dodging Horse Ranch. The Calgary Stampeders went out there as a team, took part in some great events as well. So not just a one-off here this weekend.
Yeah, it's been a whole sort of week celebration.
2nd and 9, Mayer, pressure in his face, gets it away. Nice move by Begelton to break a tackle, and because of that, he picks up a first down.
That was a great blitz pickup by Jake Mayer. He saw that blitz a couple times in the first half. This time off the edge, it's Cosby, number 30 down low there. He's the unblocked guy, but he knows he's not got that guy blocked, so he's got to get this ball out, and Begelton's got to see it. Nice execution.
Calgary trying to put together a drive and finish it. 1 for 4 in the red zone so far today. Trying to work their way down there right now. This will help. That's Mills, takes it down to the 40. The walkthrough yesterday for the Calgary Stampeders, some Indigenous leaders in attendance.
Yeah, the leaders from local nations there to
praying for strength, praying for the one.
Inspirational speech to the guys. And
seems
they're playing inspired.
Across the league, the Indigenous celebrations get better and better every single year.
Absolutely, and our game is inclusive. Come and join us.
Second and 1. On the ground again. It's a first down. They're churning with Dedrick Mills. There's a flag on this one as it falls just inside the 30.
Look like that'll be a holding. Yeah.
Calgary number 51. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
Sean McEwen got that one. That was on Dylan Wynn, right? Over the nose, over the center. Basic takedown.
There's a look at the Blackfoot radio call. Butch Wolflag of the Siksika Nation on the microphone. His broadcast partner, Jacob LeBlanc of the Aboriginal Multimedia Society. Work in the booth today. I'd love to have heard their first half because there was a lot going on in the first half of this football game. 2nd and 11 after a loss of 1 for Mayer. Gets it away quickly. Markin Michel was busy earlier in the game. Touchdown, Markin Michel.
Love it.
Paredes, 51-yarder, gets it away. That is up, and it is off the upright. A doink from Paredes. And the lead remains at 3. Just his 2nd missed field goal of the season. Wow. Another great look at Indigenous Celebration Day in Calgary.
Well, let's go back to the field goal. Rennie Paredes, who's been money all season long, almost 97% his field goal percentage, and hits the post. That's a dead ball, no points awarded. The hold was good. The kick looked smooth.
What do you think he was saying there?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Something a little bit high.
I'm saying the uprights are too high. If they were lower, it might have gone over. It would have been a judgment call.
He pulls down a bit. Here's Fajardo now from the pocket. Short completion to Julian Grant again. Judge Inouye on the tackle.
But you wonder now, Dustin, if for Calgary the self-doubt is starting to creep in a little bit. They've had some opportunities here. 1 for 4 in the red zone. And they've settled for field goals. The turnover after the 87-yard drive just before the half, down on the 1 or 2 yard line. You know, there's been opportunities to pull away here against a good, very good Montreal team, and they've let those opportunities slip through their fingers.
Is leaving this game out there.
Yeah,
right
they
now
are.
for the taking. Fajardo gets this one away.
There it is.
Finds his running back. Fletcher pushes ahead. There's a flag as they pick Cody up off the turf as well.
They went to the tablet.
And saw, hey, look, he's open. Find him.
Went to the tablet and said, hey, our back out of the backfield on those little swing passes is there. Especially when they're sending linebacker pressure. Micah always going on a blitz, and Cam Judge dropped off to help out in the secondary. And that's why the check down here to Fletcher was there.
I think this is why the flag was thrown right there, too.
A little bit of a late hit, yeah.
Here's a call.
Major foul, face mask, Montreal 54.
Oh, wow.
15-yard penalty. Will repeat 2nd down.
Okay, well,
Did
let's
not
take a look
see
at
that one coming.
Yeah.
Fajardo can't believe it.
That's Justin Lawrence, the center. He thought he got hit a little bit late. I thought there was an extra step made there. It looked like live. Right here's your center. Number 54 gets called. Well, he definitely has his left hand in the face mask. That's Mike Rose, and definitely grabbed the face mask too. So
can't argue that one.
That definitely the correct call there. I think Fajardo was talking about, was it a late hit as well?
2nd and 21 yards. Be a huge stop here for the Calgary defense. They'll put 3 on the line, drop everybody else back. Fajardo still gets pressure though. He's on the run to his right, pressure right behind him, and he takes off. Cody though eventually tracked down. Judge strung it out. Made the play, and they'll have to kick it away with just over 9 minutes remaining.
Well, the way that they forced Cody Fajardo to get outside of the pocket and scramble was away from his receivers. He had 4 receivers into the boundary side, and this time he gets flushed out to the right. So he only has this one, and then that one double covered. 2 targets, decides, no way, I'm going to force it. I'll take the sack, let the punt team come out there and live to fight another day.
Zima hangs it up there. Logan takes it at the 41. And he is tackled at the 50. Cody Fajardo out of the pocket. Look at Hauser trying to track him down. Eventually, Judge gets the job. Back next week as the Tiger Cats head to Toronto to take on the Argos. Friday, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Little Friday night football action for you.
Always a great rivalry, and Toronto after that has Montreal.
Ooh, it's a big one.
That'll be a big one, depending on how this finishes too.
Calgary will welcome the Riders to town next week. First game of the season between the two. Quick pass here from Mayer as he finds Philpott. It's his second catch of the game.
Jake Mayer has basically missed on what, 5 or 6 throws tonight. I mean, 24 of 29, not big yardage numbers, but I think he has been on point, recognizing blitzes, getting it out of his hand quickly when he's had to.
And a big 0 in that interception category after throwing 4 in his last start against Edmonton. And that one really goes nowhere. Peyton Logan, I believe, that time. And that'll bring up 3rd down.
Jake Mayer was looking at Coach Dickinson, thinking he might decide to go for it on 3rd down here. He needed Peyton Logan to get closer.
Letcher. Goes back to take the punt, averaging 12 yards per punt return this season. Waits for this just outside his own 5. Grace gets it away. And Letcher takes it on the far side, and a late flag right at the end of that play. That came after he had stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, I don't think it was close out of bounds. I think it was way out of bounds.
15-yard misconduct foul, Montreal number 14.
That's Rambo just drove him right into
go back 15 yards or half the distance, and it'll be 1st down.
They'll back it up 15 yards on a beautiful Saturday evening in Calgary. Send it down to Britt Dorp.
Yeah, Micah Alway, proud dad to 4-month-old Raylyn Alway, who he simply put, she's a football girly. It started with the fact that he noticed she really enjoyed watching football with him. Now she enjoys watching football of him, and you can see it in pictures. She's very dialed in. He said now she's his film study little buddy, and his wife did give him a little bit of trouble saying she can't have this much screen time, but he told her it's okay if it's for football at this age. And he also said with the adversity they're facing this season, he enjoys it because someday he's going to tell her about the season she was born and what they face.
It'll be nice to have Daddy make a big play here. Fajardo in trouble, and a flag in the end zone. They hit Cody in the head. What happened here? To sort this out. That was
I think it's exactly what happened. Charles Wiley almost headbutted him. And it wasn't a lot, but you know the standard here. I mean, the rule is one thing. The standard is the error on the side of protecting quarterbacks.
Major foul, roughing the passer, Calgary number 93. Intentional grounding, Montreal number 7. We're going to go up 5 yards, automatic, first down.
You know, and what defensive linemen and some coaches and maybe some in the media have to stop thinking, in my opinion, is it was nothing. It's okay. It's football. Let them play. No. This is the way it is going to be called. So get that in your head that you can't, after the ball's gone, touch the quarterback. Like, I understand, but don't. It's the rule.
Dave doesn't believe you.
I know, but it's the standard. It's the rule. If you headbutt him, if you push him after he throws, not just Cody, any quarterback in the league, it's going to be called.
1st and 10 from the Montreal 16. Fajardo dancing around the pocket. Now he's going to take off. A quick little slide after a short pickup on 1st down. 3 yards for Fajardo that time.
And great decisions made by all 3 defenders for Calgary that were around him when he hook slid there. Like, we've seen that controversial come up.
Yeah, don't touch him in that situation.
Yeah, controversy come up where they hit him late, or they're saying we're going too fast and we can't. No, just let up. He hook slid. Don't take a penalty.
Montreal needs 7 here, 5.5 to play. Pressure again from Calgary. Fajardo in trouble. Can he escape? No. Stampeders defense gets there again. They were all over him. Alway, Rose, all causing issues.
Yeah, different levels, different layers. You can see Alway. His new girl's probably excited about that one. She's watching. She's got Dad now. She's giving Dad a plus for this. See, Dad is graded after all these plays. Plus, minus, or even. He got a plus for that one from Ray Lynn.
But not too much screen time. Good neck strength at a young age, though. This is kicked away. Logan, midfield, 48-yard kick. Great return. There's a flag down at the 15. Fajardo getting ready to get this ball at least one more time, you would think.
So, again, you heard Coach talk about it at halftime, that teams that are struggling make these little mistakes. And, you know, that roughing the passer, little mistake. But, okay, offsetting, so not terrible. A penalty here on this return costs them, what, 30 yards?
Well, they were already in field goal range.
Yeah, 30 yards of real estate here. A fumble down on the 1-yard line after an 87-yard drive. Can they overcome that in the next 4 minutes?
Starting on their own 44. Jake's going to throw wide side of the field. Mark and Michelle wide open, first down. He steps out of bounds. Mentioned the longest losing streak that we've seen from Calgary in the last 20 years. That's what they're trying to find their way out of here tonight. 4 games lost by an average of 13 points, 2 of them against their bitter rivals to the north in the Labor Day game and the rematch.
Yeah, and most of those in the final 3 minutes, they were determined and were closing in on the final 3 here.
Montreal has been excellent in crunch time so far this season. In close games, Mayer quickly back into the reliable hands of Reggie Begelton for the 7th time tonight.
Yeah, you see that recognition between receiver Reggie Begelton and quarterback. Blitz coming from the right side of Jake Mayer. He hits the curl because his receiver recognized the blitz too and gave him a target.
Stopped in the spot that Sankey couldn't get to, right? Stevens into the game. 2nd and 1. Stevens pushing ahead. Well, I don't know if that initial push was enough. This will be much closer than you would have thought.
Oh, we're talking inches here, so Coach Dickinson, I'm sure, would go on 3rd down.
We've hit 3 minutes. Things are just starting to heat up here in Calgary. Don't go anywhere. Looking to keep this momentum rolling on the road. 5-0 this year, 8 in a row overall. Road win tonight if they can pull it off. Movement into a tie for the 3rd longest of all time.
Yeah, the 3rd longest, but that's a club record at 8. And Moss called the timeout just before the warning, so we will have.
Yeah, they're giving Montreal a timeout that was called, I believe we were told, at 3:08. So there'd be a play, and then we'll get to the 3-minute warning, but we'll be sticking around. 1st and 10. Jake Mayer trying to seal this one away. Near side. Barnes, nowhere to go. Back to the line of scrimmage. And that's it.
Well, it gives us time to sort of look at a 2nd and long and a chance for Calgary to actually close it out. I mean, to go in, and they need a major to make it a 2-score game. Because as you've mentioned earlier, that it feels like they're just leaving it out there for the taking for Montreal. Even a field goal here, Montreal will get the ball back with 2 minutes or so to go. And a converted touchdown wins the game for them.
I will say this would be a fitting way tonight for Calgary's defense to seal this away, because Calgary's defense has been great. Like, if they have to settle for a field goal here, with the way they've played tonight, I think you'd have to be confident that they could slow down Montreal, but the Alouettes at 10-2 have found ways to win.
Well, they know how to win. They're defending champions.
2nd and 10 here. A draw on the ground. Diedrich Mills, he's got a 1st down, and he barrels over a defender on the way.
One of the reasons that Montreal is a little susceptible to the run at times on defense is because of their show blitz. They'll put Darnell Sankey, for instance, up at the line of scrimmage. When Sankey's at the line, he's going to show blitz. No, I'm going to drop, and then it gives an offensive lineman a chance to get on him. Now he's blocked, and that draw has a chance. What a gutsy call to go 2nd and long, give it to Diedrich Mills, but they're playing against a team that at time, because of that disguise, can get caught. That was a 15-yard gain. What a call.
Mills with 121 yards back to the sideline. Peyton Logan checks into the game at running back. They'll go to him. The scat back trying to find some space, and he does. There's a flag back by the quarterback as Logan takes it down inside the 15. This is a huge call.
Something on the backside is probably a holding.
It's right in that area, isn't it?
Is there a good crew?
Before 1st down yardage, major foul, face mask, Calgary number 65. 15-yard penalty will repeat 1st down.
Akanu. Huge penalty. It backs them up to the 41.
Yeah, you can see that it's on Mustafa Johnson. There's Johnson right here. Watch his face mask. He's engaged there. Everything's fine there. And then his head gets wrenched right there.
So a 1st and 25 for Mayer. On the ground again. This time it's not going to work as they push it ahead just inside the 40. A flag at the end of it. And if this is against Calgary, this is backing them up almost to outside of field goal range.
– 15-yard misconduct after the play. Wow. Calgary number 60. Be 2nd down.
Demery backs him up. Three 15-yard penalties this half for Calgary.
Is that someone Was he cruising the pile there? He got bumped, and then he walked into Darnell Sankey. Go ahead and keep running it, guys. Watch Sankey right there, number 1. And Desmarais hits him from behind.
Right there.
Right there. And they're out of field goal range.
They need the 16 for a first down. The ball is snapped at midfield. They'll dump it off, pushing it ahead. Not enough, but somewhat disaster for Calgary here. Paredes will come out to try to make it a 6-point game, but in a much more difficult spot than they would have been just a few moments ago.
Oh yeah, this is miles away from a chip shot.
30 yards and penalties have put them in this position. Paredes, a rare miss already tonight. Will have a slight wind at his back. The other 2 he made tonight, chip shots. This would be one of his longest of the year. Not his longest. He's hit from 57. This is from 52 to make it a 6-point game. That is up, and that is wide right. Oh boy, it'll be brought out by Letcher. And he stays in bounds momentarily and gets it back to the 20. Paredes with 2 misses here in the second half.
Well, it's tough to put it on Paredes when the team offensively has just made a couple of real bad decisions. I mean, to the left of your screen here, here's the face mask one more time. That was the penalty that pushed him back the first time. Deontay Desmarais got that one. Then there was the bump in the back on Darnell Sankey. Again, not a lot, but certainly avoidable penalty. Pushed him way back to that long distance, and he missed it.
Desmarais one, I mean, just can't do that. First down, Montreal. Julian Grant's got it. Now a field goal will tie it. Even without the Desmarais penalty, you're still having a much more makeable field goal for Paredes. Just a boneheaded play by Desmarais there. And Montreal, despite being held in check for most of the game, has some life here. Fajardo far side, great tackle made on the far side of the field by Judge. Fletcher had nowhere to go.
Yeah, because Cameron Judge saw the tablets and saw the film from last game when they played, and Fletcher had 100 yards receiving. And he knew in this key play, he's going to try and get it to Fletcher out of the backfield. And so this time he just played the play and hustled out there, went right past that curl to Fletcher.
Second down, Calgary's going to bring some heat. Fajardo, a deep shot down the field. Too much. Way too much. Was looking for Julian Grant. And that'll bring up third down with 51 seconds on the clock.
Well, you mentioned it. Can the Calgary defense, who's maybe played their best game of the season tonight? I mean, Montreal Alouettes have 10 points on the board. They have done their job when the offense has given the ball back and turned it over at times.
Crowd at McMahon to their feet. Fajardo needs 8 to keep this game alive. Has time over the middle. He's got a man out at the 50. Once again, Julian Grant hauls it in. A silencer here at McMahon.
Money from Cody Fajardo steps in and finds Julian Grant on a bender, who's going to just run this bender over the middle. Fajardo knows exactly where the markers are, steps up, 3-man pressure, strike over the middle.
Fajardo, far side. And is that caught? It is. Just outside the 52.
But the third down catch is the money catch. It's the money catch, and what a throw. I mean, not a lot of pressure. He knows he's got 3 men, but he's got to get it to the marker. You see Julian Grant just get inside position. And Ben LeBrose.
The previous play is under review by the command center. Could the timer please reset the clock to 31 seconds?
Crucial seconds being put back on the clock. They'll move it up to 31 as the command center takes a look at this last play.
I'm not sure what they're looking at. Was see if Reggie White was, if he made the catch here and maintained. I'm not sure he did.
Looked like that ball moved when it hit the turf, didn't it?
Said it many times, but you gotta maintain possession when you hit the turf. That first angle was probably the best angle. It's an important 8 yards. We'll see. See how they rule. This is a close one.
Yeah, the last view looked like he almost kind of controlled it, but I see the wrists kind of lost
backwards.
control of it there. Yeah.
Let me overturn this.
Maltos hit a 53-yarder earlier in this game. That's his season long.
After review by the command center, we have an incomplete pass. 2nd down.
Crowd loves it. 2nd and 10.
The command center can be a bit of a roller coaster, can't it? Depending on what they decide.
From the Montreal 50. Stamps in 4. Fajardo backpedals over the middle. Nice move made. 1st down, still going. Reggie White.
What a move.
Oh, that was beautiful. And they're at least within range of attempting a field goal.
When White catches this, I'm not sure he's at the marker. I mean, he's short of it right now. It would have been another 3rd down play to keep the game alive. But an inside spin move is brilliant to back to the outside on Alway. He's one of the great tacklers in the league, and that's a great move in the open field.
Timeout, Montreal.
Alouettes have called a timeout. 9 seconds on the clock.
So ideally, Jason Moss would like to get Maltos a little bit closer. Virtually no wind at this point. There was in the first half. He would have been kicking into it.
Yeah,
it's a little bit of a breeze
into his face here,
but way less than the first half. And Moss has to look. Well, he got that extra time on the clock. Got time for another play for sure, maybe 2.
Put it back to 15 seconds when he called the timeout. So Fajardo trying to get a little bit more ground here for his kicker.
Watch Fletcher.
That's where he goes. Fletcher has it inside the 40. And he's taken down by Alway and Houston, but he picks up 10. And they are certainly within a makeable field goal range right now. 9 seconds on the clock.
Now they just want to get it to the middle. Well, they're going to get a free 5.
So Fajardo was bouncing around, calling out some directions. Mike Rose jumped over the line. A flag has been thrown, and the officials will sort this out.
There was no flag on the play as the play was not blown in yet.
All right, so that flag will be picked up. Fajardo again bouncing around. Clock ticks down. Look at this. Got to get it down. They do. Oh. They had to move quickly there. Can you imagine if the clock expired and they hadn't got it down?
Well, they started it when they blew it in. I mean, it wasn't starting on the snap of the ball, and Fajardo realized it. And I think he pushed Fletcher down from behind. So you got to get down.
Maltos hit from 53 earlier. 42 yards to force overtime at McMahon. That kick is up, and it is good. A no-doubter from Maltos, and we'll need a little bit more here on a Saturday night in Calgary. A pretty good 13-13 game.
Yeah, I've told you many times, defense is allowed to win every now and then, and we've seen some nice defense, but you just got the feeling that Calgary was leaving the door open just a little bit for this 10-win team to come back and extend the game at the very least and maybe take the lead, but we're going to OT.
They've won 8 in a row on the road. Calgary with a couple of opportunities to try and put them away, but unable to do it so far.
So the overtime rules. We'll have another coin toss to see who wins the toss, and usually they want to play defense first. .35-yard line in.
Let's go to the coin toss.
Okay. Team logo is tails. League logo is heads. Your call?
Tails.
Tails. Call is tails. It is a head. You won the toss. Offense or defense? You want to start on defense? Which end would you like to play in?
This side.
No, which end? You want to play in that end or this end? That end. Okay, so we're going to play down there. You're on defense. You're on offense.
All right, well, you heard it there. Calgary won the toss. They'll play defense first. We will play at the end of the field into the wind.
So both coaches will have a challenge. There's no time clock here in overtime. You're 35 yards going in. You have to go for 2 if you score a major. And you're basically in field goal range now.
A lot on the line for the Calgary Stampeders, trying to avoid a 5-game losing streak. Montreal will take it first here in overtime. Fajardo has Fletcher out to his right, goes over the middle, drops it into Speaker, and Speaker has his first catch of the ball game for a first down in OT.
When Fletcher comes out of the backfield, he pulls coverage with him, and that's where Speaker goes right in behind. Fletcher takes off quickly. That takes Cam Judge. Cam Judge is now out of the throwing lane. Go to Speaker over the middle.
Montreal works from the edge of the Calgary red zone. Fajardo fakes the handoff, turns, gets it away. Tackle made on the far side of the field against Sneed. Ben LaBrosse. Tidy work on that play.
Julian Grant was that. Remember that bender that got Fajardo back in field goal range, got him on that 3rd down? That was against LaBrosse. So LaBrosse comes back, makes a nice tackle here, gets him in 2nd and long.
A loss of 2. Montreal's 5 for 14 on 2nd down. Need a big one here. Fajardo backpedaling, a shot to the end zone. No! Broken up. Looking for Rambo. Houston is there to defend.
Your best players have to be your best players in these games, and Rambo is open. He throws his hand up, and Fajardo is a beat off, getting it to him. Look at the hand is up. He's got in behind Demario Houston by 3 or 4 yards, and Fajardo got it there, but it was just a little bit late on the timing, and Houston recovered.
Baltos now on a 3rd and 12 will come out for a 30-yard attempt to put the Alouettes on top. Tied it to force overtime, knocks another one through, and the Alouettes lead 16-3, their first lead of the evening.
Boy, Fajardo wants that back just for 1 split second. I mean, a game of inches, a game of split seconds. If he gets that ball out of there when Rambo comes out of his break, he's got Demario Houston beat by 3 or 4 yards, but Houston recovers. He doesn't quit on it, and look at the Fajardo knows it. Had a touchdown throw.
Touchdown will win it for Calgary.
Right over to Rambo saying, that's on me.
On the ground, flea flicker. Jake Mayer dumps it off in a short route, and it falls incomplete. Oh man, a flea flicker to the end zone in overtime. I would have lost my mind.
Yeah, but look at this. These guys aren't fooled by it. There's your secondary, and watch this. They're not going to come up on the run. They didn't even move forward. They just hesitated. Stop it there. Blanket coverage on the 2 receivers on the flea flicker. No shot. Good decision by Mayer.
They were not going to be beat deep, were they? 2nd and 10 here. Mayer goes to Mills again, and he drops it.
Boy. He's put a whole bunch of pressure on Rene Paredes.
Paredes will come out in an attempt to tie it and force our 2nd mini game.
Now listen, this is inside of his range. No question. I mean, you mentioned he's hit a 57-yarder this year. He's 5 for 5 over 50 yards.
But he's missed 2 tonight.
Missed 2 tonight, which will be on his mind. Even the good ones have to fight self-doubt. One hit the upright, which is also frustrating for kickers. And they chose to go into the wind on the first overtime here, so
hold one and push the other.
It's not a chip shot, but it's well within his range.
Into a bit of a wind from 42 yards straight away for Paredes, one of the best to ever do it. 87.96% in his career. That puts him in the top 3 coming into this game. Has to have this, or the losing streak continues for the Calgary Stampeders. Paredes, it is up, no doubt about it. Right down the middle, we're tied at 16.
Boy, it looked to me like I've watched Rene Paredes do his routine. Most kickers have the same routine before the big kicks. Well, before any kick for that matter. It looked like he had a lot more sort of body action in his routine before that kick, like he was trying to shake it. He's over there talking to people. He's moving around. He was trying to fight off self-doubt there from what's happened earlier here tonight. And then when it came down to it, locked in and nailed it. Boom. We're going to a 2nd overtime.
Flip the field. Head to the other end here, and Calgary's offense will go first this time around. If we're tied after this, game will end in a tie. Couple of drops in the first overtime for Calgary. Jake Mayer works from the Montreal 35. There's a flag here. This is going to be against the Calgary Stampeders.
Yeah, that's offside, or procedure in this case. Receiver in motion.
offside. Calgary number 17. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Yeah, Cam Eccles was the receiver in motion, and he was probably 2 yards over. He had come all the way over from the opposite side, and he was, look at him, 3-4 yards over the line of scrimmage.
11th penalty of the game for the Stampeders.
We'll take another penalty here and put Paredes into a 50-yard zone.
1st and 15 after the 5 yards. Mayer over the middle. Nowhere to go for Philpott. Just shy of the original line of scrimmage, and it'll be 2nd and about 10.
But get the penalty yards back. 2nd and long.
Unable to get anything going in overtime just yet. Mayer on the run, out to his right. What's he gonna do? He's gonna have to throw it away. And that'll bring up 3rd down, and Paredes will come out for the field goal. Boo Birds at McMahon not happy with this overtime.
Yeah, well, they can't be not happy about, well, they can be whatever they want to be, I guess, but they you know, it was the right decision by the time he had rolled out. I mean, there was only one receiver option down there, and he was well covered. So Jake Mayer does not want to throw a pick 6 there.
No.
Because that's game over, they lose. So they'll put Rennie Paredes out there, and then can the defense win a game? The turnover or pushing them back.
Paredes puts that one up, and he has once again given the Calgary Stampeders the lead in overtime, 19-16, and Montreal now will have a chance to win the football game.
So this will be interesting. Does Jason Moss and Cody Fajardo aggressively attack for the win, or do they're in field goal range now? Walk away with tie. No question they're going to run their offense.
I just say go out, kick a field goal, take the tie.
Well, no, they're not going to do that. They're going to go out and run their offense. But how aggressive in the decision-making process is Cody Fajardo here? Is he going to try and fit it into a tight window? If you turn it over, it's over.
Here we go.
Good teams go to win, though. They go to play to win.
This team's a good one. 10-2. They'll start it on the ground, pushing it down close to the 30. Stopped at the 31, I believe.
So here it is.
4-yard pickup for Fletcher.
So here it is. Is Fajardo going to try and knife in a dig route at about 15? Or do they play a more conservative sort of bubble screen type of play? See if the receiver can make a couple of guys miss and get the first down that way, and if they don't, they take the tie. But how aggressive is Fajardo going to be here?
2nd and 6 for Fajardo.
Double move.
On the run. Trying to pick it up on his own. Hangs onto the ball, and he's taken down. And it'll be 3rd down. Chance to have a field goal for the tie.
Yeah, I think he wanted down at the bottom of your screen here. He wanted the double move down here, and it was covered very well. It was a pump fake down here. Look at that little stop and go, but covered like a blanket. So Fajardo, again, didn't want to throw the pick, so he takes it and gets what he can. But he was being aggressive with the double move and a go route.
Maltos 3 for 3 tonight. This one for a 19-19 tie from 37. That is up, and we are tied. Game over. 19-19, the Stampeders and the Alouettes, a deadlock on a Saturday night at McMahon.
Good hold, good kick. Kickers did what they had to in overtime. Fajardo did get aggressive, tried a double move to Rambo. It was well covered again by the corners, who had to have big nights for Calgary to try and come back. They didn't come all the way back and snap the streak with a win, but the skid is over. They get 1 point with the tie.
It's the 2nd tie in the Canadian Football League this season.
And that 1 point in the West Division right now. Who knows what that could mean in the next 5 weeks.
The losing streak ends. It's a winless streak now for Calgary, but as Glenn mentioned, now have 9 points, just back of Edmonton. Something to build on maybe for the Stampeders, Suits, or is that taking it too far?
Well, I think it is something to build on, and I think it was one of Jake Maier's best games of the season. Even though there's not a lot of points on the board, he was seeing coverage.
Looked after the ball.
He looked after the ball, got him in position. It wasn't his fumble on short yardage when they lost after that big drive. Thought it was a pretty good bounce back game for Jake Maier.
A lot going on in this football game tonight, but when it's all said and done, both teams come away with a point. Alouettes continue to control the top spot in the East Division, and Calgary gives themselves some hope for a possible playoff push in the West. 19-19 the final from McMahon. I don't